everyone, it's Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft, and today it's Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. This is a hop that happens every month, the last Wednesday of the month, and a group of scrapbookers just gets together, finds things from our Pinterest boards to inspire us in our scrapbooking, and here we are to show it all to you, and you can hop along and get a lot of great inspiration from our Pinterest boards, and it hopefully inspires you to go onto your Pinterest board and find something to inspire you. Lots of inspiration. Inspiration begets inspiration begets inspiration. It's like the book of the Bible where everybody just keeps having children and having more children, and it's really boring to read. But this is really fun to watch. So I took some inspiration from a layout from my Scrapbooking Cards Pinterest board, which I'll have linked in the description box below, as well as everybody who's participating in the hop today. And it's a Disney themed layout, which I think that's one of the reasons that I pinned it, because I needed some Disney inspiration. I still have Disney photos left to scrapbook, which I know it's scary and sad that I still haven't completed all of them. But I'm not doing a Disney layout today. So sorry about that, but I did really like the design of this, where you have that larger grid on one side and then more of a smaller little vertical column on the bottom side. So that's what I'm going to try to create. And I believe this was originally posted on scrapbook.com. So obviously there's lots of inspiration on that website, and they're a great source of inspiration. I'm saying inspiration a lot. So what I'm doing is I'm taking photos. I don't have the exact same number of photos. So my page is going to end up looking a little bit different. But I've got a background paper with some pretty fireworks, sort of a tone-on-tone firework thing going on. So to me, it's very much a neutral, solid for a background. And then I've got that rainbow paper that is going to be one layer of matting for my grid. And I'm trying to figure out the best way or the best size that I'm going to need for it. I ended up actually, once I get things laid down, I ended up cutting it a little bit too big. So I will have to fix that later. But for the time being, I thought, well, I think that could be a good size. So I just cut it out there. And then I needed to take what was left over and try to create a spot on the bottom side. And then I went, oh, this is, see, it's too big. It goes too far across the page. And I went, well, I hope I'm going to have enough room. Don't worry, I have enough room. So what I should have done is I should have figured out what my second matting layer was going to be, and then just put the photos on that matting layer and cut that, and then go from there. But I was kind of doing things a little bit backwards. Sometimes that happens when I'm scrapbooking. I work not in order. And so I got a little confused and did my cutting a little bit funky. But I'm really excited because I have these square pieces from the Chamel Main Character Energy Collection. And I'm like, those are the same size as the squares that I've cut. So my photos were originally 4x6s, but I cut them down to 3x3. Always cut bigger than you think with your photos. I thought maybe I was going to need to do 2x2, but 3x3 was definitely the perfect size. So I'm glad I started with 3x3 and I didn't have to cut any more. But these 3x3 squares from that paper from Chamel are totally perfect for this grid, especially as a fill-in, since I didn't have enough photos to do the original layout exactly the same way. So I'm going to have 3 photos in this 4 square grid up at the top. And one of them is going to be, or the 4th square is going to be that main character energy thing. So I've put those photos down on one layer of matting, which I also think might be Chamel paper. It's got pink dots and lightning bolts on it. It's an older collection from hers. And then I'm putting that on top of the rainbow paper, which I kind of can't remember who that was by. Maybe it was some American Crafts collection, maybe. But it's just striped rainbows, very simple. But I liked the bright colors and how that looks. See, now I can see I cut that piece too big, so I'm going to need to just cut it down a little bit more. But that gives me a lot more space now on the layout, so that I have more space to do something on that bottom side and still have a gap between them, just like in the original layout. So I'm going to do something similar on the bottom. I'm only going to do one photo and then one of the Chamel squares I'm only doing one photo. I'm not even doing a vertical column. That's right. Because I didn't have enough of that lightning bolt paper. And really, I didn't need to extend it anymore with another one of those squares. I totally could have. If I'd had enough of the lightning bolt paper to mimic the matting on the bigger grid, I would have added another one of the Chamel squares. But because I didn't, I'm just keeping it to one square. So again, my layout is looking much different than the original one. And that's totally fine. If you decide to do this, maybe you'll have all 4 squares in that grid there. Maybe your 4 square grid will be on the bottom and you'll have something smaller on the top. You can rearrange things and do whatever you want. But so I'm keeping this to the same mattings as the grid, so the lightning bolt and then the little rainbow pattern paper. And I'm inking all the edges with my Hampton Art black ink pad just to make things stand out a little bit more against the background. So now we come down to, I've got these pieces where I want them. They have been adhered down with my double-sided adhesive squares. Now I've got to figure out the embellishments. These papers were just random papers from my stash. Some of them came from my Paper Issues warehouse box that I purchased over the summer. I still have a few papers left from that, just a few though. And so I'm kind of just going through my embellishment stash to see what I have that might fit with these photos. These are photos of my daughter at a women's basketball game. She got to go out and sing the national anthem with the players out on the court. So pretty cool experience. I don't have any basketball themed stuff, although I did just see, on scrapbook.com, the Crate Paper has a basketball collection, which I'm assuming is going to be similar to that baseball collection that I've been working with. And I know I just said, I don't really like Crate Paper stuff, but it looks like a pretty cool collection. And I do have some basketball photos that I need to scrapbook. So I'm like, maybe I should get it. I don't know, you guys. But anyway, I don't have any basketball things right now. I haven't purchased that yet. So I'm just trying to find random things that'll have bright colors in them to go along with the bright colors on these papers that I've used. So I've got some arrows from an old Doodlebug collection. I've got a couple of the pieces from Chamel Main Character Energy. I got a Simple Stories sticker thingy going on. I'm just trying to lay pieces out to kind of get an idea of where I might want them to be, where I might want them to go, because I don't like to stick things down right away. I like to make sure I know where they're going so that I know I have space for them, or I can build things out. And so I've moved that yay, I think it says yay, the purple sort of starburst down at the bottom. Originally I had it more up toward the top of that photo, and that was because in the original layout there was a big piece in the gap between the two photo grids. But instead of doing a big embellishment piece or a big title, I'm putting a journaling spot there. So I've moved my other embellishments down to the bottom of that smaller photo, and then I'm going to have things build out from this journaling spot that's going in. And I think that's from the Chamel Main Character Energy collection. And then, of course, because I've added that piece in, that's changing up sort of my original layout intentions for everything, and that's totally fine. And what I wanted to do with those arrows and the little embellishments was try to do some color matching. So I'm putting a pink phrase piece on top of the pink arrows, and then I'm going to add some arrows down at the bottom and match that up with a matching color phrase piece, just to I just wanted to do something that was sort of, similar. And then that's going to kind of go on top or over the photo, which is kind of nice because then it cuts into the blank space where, nobody's head is, and it kind of covers that up a little bit. So I've matched the yellow to the yellow. I've got an embellishment cluster up at the top of the 4 square grid, and that has been expanded out with some enamel dots. Love enamel dots. And then I think I do need to add a title. I don't know that I have done it yet. And I don't remember what I titled this either. Sorry, but that's what I'm doing the journaling on right now with my pink Zig Writer. Let me know down in the comments if you take lots of inspiration from your Pinterest boards, if you even have a Pinterest. I remember when Pinterest first came out and you had to be invited to use it. It was super special. And of course that was after I got married, so I wasn't able to make a Pinterest board for my wedding or anything, but that would have been super helpful instead of lugging a binder full of just random ideas around and having everybody in the wedding industry going, we don't have dresses like that. We don't have stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. So frustrating. Anywho, I hope you guys do hop along with everybody else who's participating today. It's a really fun hop. You get a lot of inspiration. It's really cool to see what everybody does and how they interpret their original layouts or sketches or whatever the heck they've chosen to use. And here we are with some splatters. I don't remember what color that is. Kind of looks like one of the denim colors from Tim Holtz, but you'll see more of those splatters and close-ups over here. I guess I did add a title. Did I use one of the phrases? Or maybe I just let the phrase pieces speak for themselves, right? Sometimes you don't need big title pieces. So yeah, that's what I did. I'm reminding myself of what I did as I watched this. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe for more process videos. Bye.